Well, I support Deputy Holland's amendment. I have a concern with it as well, Lascon Corla, in that he says that it would be up to the publican to we'll say, demand a court hearing. I think why is this being all directed, the venom of this to the publican? I mean, all other citizens, the guards summons and prosecute, and that's the forum the law takes with every other offence. I don't see why it should be up to the publican to go to the expense of calling or demanding a court hearing. If the crime was to be so serious, I feel it's up to the Gardaí, the superintendent, or the minister here who's demanding these new laws be put in place to organise the court hearing and give the publican or whoever it is a fair chance, because they may not have the whereas, and that, what I mean by that is the money or the funding to organise or to get a court sitting or a court hearing. I think that it's all unfair, and again, this legislation is totally unnecessary. It is draconian. It is absolutely ridiculous what's going on here, trying to suggest that publicans are guilty before we have any rules or regulations for them. And the crosser I'm getting since what I heard from Deputy Bruton earlier in the day, that was up to the publicans to come forward with rules and regulations so that they may open their pubs. If we as a party and are in government now for the last 9 years can't organise the rules and regulations that he wants to put in place, and that at this late stage, after being closed for 6 months, that he is suggesting that the publicans should put the rules and regulations in front of you. Shame on you. He shouldn't be in office at all, and it's time for you to get out of it if that's what you're doing to ordinary, good living people that have never done anything wrong. In every group or sector in society, there are people who don't adhere to regulations and to rules. But by and large, publicans for the last 150 years have abided by every law and regulation. And I have to say here to Lascon Corla that going back over the decades, there was ridiculous legislation that publicans had to abide by. They had sometime going back in history, if you were for more than 3 miles from a pub, you could get a drink, whereas the fella 1.5 miles couldn't get a drink. Ridiculous things like that.
Deputy, I don't wish to interrupt you, but just if you could speak to the amendment.
Well, I will. I will again, Lascon Corla, and I'm sorry, but I am very cross with what's going on and what's attempted here in Dáil Éireann today. I'm suggesting that if the crime is so serious, and that the Gardaí, on the instructions of the minister, said that the rule is broken in such a fashion, there should be a court organised immediately and give the defendant, the publican in this case, a chance to defend and to present his story as he sees it. Because sometimes when someone arrives on the scene, they react in a different way to what they would have reacted if they were there for a half an hour or an hour beforehand, and if they were there before the deemed offence happened. So I think this is wrong, totally and absolutely wrong, and I will be supporting Deputy Bruton's or Deputy Holland's amendment to the extent because I feel that the whole thing is wrong. But Deputy Howland's suggestion that it will be up to the publican to demand a court hearing, that's putting the cart before the horse again. Last call, and I'm asking him to consider that, and I just want to appreciate the good work and the attention that Deputy Howland is giving to this bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.